Um, I want to get Pez. Hold on one second. I dressed what I went and I pressed the button. I was like, I should get Pez before I go live. And then I was like, and then I forgot, but now I remembered I want to get Pez. Hold on one second. I'm back and I have Pez. Hi everybody. How are you all? It is I, Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole. And we are playing Mutazione today, which is the winner of the Independent Game Festival's Excellence in Audio Award for 2020, which is very exciting. But before we start the game, I do like to have a bit of a chat, and we do have some things to chat about. And depending on how it goes, we might start chatting and then have to start the game. But we have things to talk about. So, and and the thing is, I really wanted to chat with you all about it because I wanted to hear your thoughts because I enjoy hearing your thoughts. Also, hold on. There was some dust that I saw and I wanted to get rid of. I need to dust. Anyway, okay, so hi. I'm very excited to start Mutazione. I've missed you all. I spent all day yesterday working on my book. I've got to do game prep tonight while we're doing the critical role. But I wanted to talk about GURPS first, and not just GURPS, also D&D 2025, and also other things. So, in case you do not know, it was announced that GURPS is doing a 4th edition revised. And I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I find it interesting. A number of things I find very interesting about this. First things first. What I find interesting is I'll start with the Discord versus forum thing because I feel like that's the most relevant thing. Somebody was saying that they hated Discord and Discord shouldn't exist because it was terrible because it like firewalls information away that should be open to the public. And my position is that actually I don't think that Discord is a problem. I think it has a use. It definitely, like, some things you actually do want firewalled off from the public, right? Sometimes you have smaller communities that are having conversations that don't need to be out in the public all over the place. And I think sometimes you want a clubhouse, right? And I think that's cool and fine and dandy. Yay. That said, I don't disagree with the idea that tech support and official public company things should not be on a private Discord. I mean, I suppose if you want to put them there, you can, but they should be, those things should be available to everyone, right? You shouldn't have to go to a private Discord to get tech support for a product, right? Those are my feelings of that. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it has been announced that there's going to be a GURPS revised, a GURPS 4th edition revised, sort of announced. So what happened was GameCon was this last weekend, I guess. And let me see. I'm pretty sure I'm live. Anyway, just let me know if I'm live so that I know that I've not, that I'm actually still online. I think I am. It looks like I am. So good. Okay. So just let me know. All right. So GameCon. Oh, good. Thank you, Carlin. So GameCon was, I think, last weekend. And during GameCon, Steve Jackson himself let slip on the stage that there's going to be a GURPS 4th edition revised. And then it sort of leaked. People were like, oh my gosh, it was announced. But I mean, he said it at a panel, like as a spilling of the beans. So then where is the next place? Now, I heard about it somewhere else. I can tell you where I heard about it later. But so apparently this was all the buzz in the various places on the internet that people talk about things, including the unofficial GURPS Discord, which is a GURPS Discord not run by Steve Jackson Games. It's an unofficial GURPS Discord, and they were speculating. And Crom, who is the line editor for GURPS, and he's like the GURPS guru and has been for like over 20 years, for a very long time. Like 4th edition was mostly him, but he's been around for ages and ages and ages. Anyhow, so he went on to the unofficial GURPS Discord and he was giving information about this new revision. So he gave a lot of details and information about it, which of course is unofficial, right? And I actually am a member of that Discord, but I never check it because I mostly just check the ones I'm much more active on. And I did not know about the new revised edition from this unofficial private Discord. I learned about it because I was on the Steve Jackson Games forums, which are public, where somebody reposted what Crom had said in the unofficial Discord into a new thread in the forums. So the only reason why I know about it is because somebody who's in the unofficial forums posted what Crom said in the unofficial forums on in the unofficial Discord on the Steve Jackson Games forums, right? And I basically, and then I was like, oh, huh. And then I checked with Reddit, and Reddit had things to say, which is the second part of the conversation I thought you might be interested in having with me. And then Crom made a follow-up. And so I was just thinking about how I feel like things like that should not be on unofficial private Discords. Like that's my take. I feel like that should probably be in a more public, like that probably should have happened first on the Steve Jackson game forums rather than an unofficial private Discord. Those are just my thoughts on that one, because that doesn't, yeah. I don't know how you all feel about that, but that's how I feel about it. I mean, I did find out about it, and then of course, right after I found out about it, all the sort of RPG news sites which reported on it, but of course what they did, they just kind of resummarized the Crom's comment on the unofficial Discord. So that was me sort of reinforcing, I think something that Krell has said before, right? That maybe, that, you know, we probably should not be using Discords as if they were public forums, you know, because they're not. That was my thought on that one. Like, I feel like I probably should have, like, it should have been on the Daily Illuminator. There are places where I should have seen it, and I feel like, you know, that's what I feel about that. Hello, Lone Coup. Grüezi miteinander. Wie geht's? Servus. So yeah, so I'm like, man, that's a bummer. But I did want to talk about, and we can probably talk about this while we play a little bit. I did want to talk about the announcement because, Fiona, oh, Lone Coup, you're like, you're bringing back the memories.
Game.
I miss Germany sometimes. You know what I'm saying to you? You know what I'm saying? Because Germany has got like good food, and Augsburg is like a beautiful city with cobblestone streets, and anyhow. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, on M will appear. And then I say Bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a F, Fi, and a Mo. Then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Rissa, Bo, Bissa, Banana, Fana, Fofissa, Fi, Fi, Mo, Missa. Rissa, the name game. Woo! Yay! Thank you so much. Oh, also Barantor. But if the first two letters are ever the same, I drop them both and say the name. I like Bob drop the B's, Bo, or Fred drop the F's, fo, Red, or Mary drop the M's, Mo, Airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. Barantor, Bo, Erantor, Banana, Fana, Fo, Farantor, Fi, Fa, Mo, Merantor. Barentor, the name game. Yay. Yay. Uh, Yay. Rissa says late, but not too late. And Barentor is like, woot. Hey, and hello. Hey, Darth Credible Hulk. How are you? Okay, so thank you both for those resubs. It's much appreciated. Before we start off the game, I want to read you these two posts. So then we have a shared context for when we're chatting during the game.
We're in the money.
Oh, hype train. Oh. Darth Credible Hulk, you know what that means. You know what that means. That means you just have given bits, and when I get bits, I sing, much like anything else that happens. But I sing We're in the Money, as sung by Ginger Rogers from the film Gold Diggers of 1933, which means I sing it in Pig Latin. If I had my megaphone, which is in Massachusetts, I'd sing it with my megaphone, but I have to just simulate a megaphone because I don't have my megaphone, which is so sad. But nonetheless. Airway and hey, the anime. Airway and hey, the anime. Ivoyat galeot, wayat, to tet galeong wayo. Airway and hey. Airway and hey, the anime. Either I stays or Ronnie say. Old man, the aviation pray, ooh, yare, ooh, three, what's down my young rayo. Even if you're Edward Landsay, lay up way at Brianzay, ooh, tay day. And we see the end, Lord looked at the agar in the eye, we're in the money, we're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. See, here's the thing. The megaphone sort of distorts some of the frequencies, and so you get like it kind of removes some of the bass, which gives you that kind of old sound. So, thank you for those bits. Thank you so much. Thank you. Rissa says, our local Vons has been out of all the Dr. Peppers for a week, making Stacy say, it's an apocalypse. Krellin called it. No Dr. Pepper, apocalypse. No good, is what I'm saying. Darth Credible says, works well, thanks for singing. My pleasure. Look, all you're doing is you're giving me an excuse to sing, which is really, all I really want in my life. That's all I'm saying. So, I want to read these two posts about the new revised 4th edition of GURPS before we actually start playing Mutazione, because I want us to talk about them as we're playing, because, D&D 2024 came out recently, and they said it's not a new edition. It's like an update, I guess, is what they're calling it. But people are like, no, this is a new edition. So GURPS has announced their 4th edition revise. Please note, for historical purposes, they did do a 3rd edition revise. So they did a 3rd edition, and then they did a 3rd edition revised. So if you have played GURPS since 88 or so, you do know what they mean by a revised edition, which what they mean tends to be what other book publishers mean by revised editions, which is often not what RPG people mean by revised editions. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting to think about the differences between that and chat about it a little bit. But that said, the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name. I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F. Or an M will appear. And then I say bow at a B. Then I say the name. Then banana, fanner, and foe. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. Then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Clockwork Librarian. Clockwork Librarian, like Clockwork librarian, blockwork librarian, banana pen for flockwork librarian, fee fi mo blockwork librarian, clockwork librarian, the name game. I got that. Feeling feeling very proud of myself today for that one. Trooper, you seem to have caught a very strange headband. You know, it's there. My strange headband is it's like sweating to the oldies. If your headband did not help with sweat at all, I think basically. Okay, so let me read you these two posts, and then we can talk about what GURPS means by a revision, what people want, what they don't want, what people are saying on Reddit, etc. So we do need to bring leg warmers back. This is what I'm saying. I'm bringing leg warmers back. Hey, physical. Look, side note, I was just listening to some Olivia Newton-John last night. So weird that physicals brought up leg warmers, and headbands, which were all in the video for Physical by Olivia Newton-John, which also was, I mean, we can just talk about how what a smash hit that song was at a different moment. But what I wanted to say was, I was listening to what's the song? Where did my innocence go? Pew. How was a young girl to know? Boo. And it makes me, and it gives me something to let you know. And it's something, papa. With a little more love, that's the song. With a little more love, make me start ending. With a little more love, bring a happy ending. With a little more love, make it right. Well, anyway, that's from the Totally Hot album, which was before Physical, but I don't know if it was the same year or after Grease. It was right around the Grease era. It's like bringing sexy back, but it's leg warmers. What does love have to do with it? Not everyone in the 80s was cool. Leg warmers are not a thing. Actually, Lone Cool, leg warmers were a thing for dancers, right? Dancers use them quite, like ballet dancers still use them. So it was really mostly like a dancer thing that I think random people decided to use for fashion in the 80s. But, you know, dancers are very intense about it. So anyhow, I was listening to A Little More Love by Olivia Newton-John and just thinking, oh, Olivia Newton-John, because there's a performance, so basically Top of the Pops in the UK, basically everybody has to lip sync their Top of the Pop song, and every once in a while somebody will not lip sync and it goes really badly. But she's on the top, Olivia Newton-John's on Top of the Pops, and she's singing A Little More Love, and she's singing it live clearly and like flawless. So anyway, I was thinking about her. Not the point though. The actual point is I wanted to read these two posts to you because I wanted to talk about additions. So the first post is the summary of what Crom said on the unofficial Discord, GURPS Discord. He said, because Steve Jackson Games spilled the beans. So I'm going to give you both the posts, and then we'll start up the game, and then we'll talk about them. So things that are on my mind, what people think a revised edition is, what Crom's priorities for the 4th edition revised is, how that may be different or similar to other people's priorities for their new revisions. Right? Okay, so since the GURPS 4th edition revised monkey is out of the sack, point 0, it won't be years. Most of the work is already done. We're very likely to get the revised edition very soon, by the way. Very soon. Hey, how are you doing, Hawkeye? You missed the discussion of Olivia Newton-John and her amazing voice. But now we're talking about the announcement of GURPS revised, 4th edition revised. So first, it won't be years. Like, it might be within 1 year is what I'm trying to say here. Just know. Hey, Prax, how are you? I hope you're healing. So it's entirely possible, and Prax, you might find this conversation interesting. So it's entirely possible we'll get this within the year. This is the implication from some of the things that have been said. GURPS 4th edition revised. That was point 0. Point 1, by far the biggest differences So by the way, people have been like, but we want this, we want this, we want that. Can we have this? Can we have that? And he's like, this is a revision, not a new edition. And it's also not a reprinting, right? He's like, he's very clear that what this is, but I think, right, I want us to think about like the people's ideas of those things. Anyhow, okay, so point one. By far the biggest differences are major changes to physical layout and design. I'm not sure what Steve Jackson linked at GameholeCon, so I'm not going to go into detail here beyond saying things will be easier to use and read. It will not look the same, despite number 3 below. Number 2. It is definitely not GURPS 5th edition, or even a GURPS 3rd edition to GURPS 4th edition level change. It's a GURPS 3rd edition to GURPS 3rd edition revised level change. It will not make edition level changes to point costs, modifiers, prices, weights, etc. All rules changes will be additions in clearly marked addenda chapters so that people can easily decide what to retcon into 4th edition campaigns. 3. Top priority. Please note, this is the top priority for their new revision. Top priority is to preserve page references so that whether you use the basic set 4th edition or basic set 4th edition revised, an internal page number 00 or external page number basic 00 points you to the same rule. This brooks little to no rewriting outside of the addenda mentioned in number 2. So their big priority is to make sure that none of the page references for the last, because GURPS 4th edition came out in 2004, so 21 years, that the last 21 years worth of material, the references are still good. That is their top priority. So they do not want to move things around such that page numbers shift. So note that as interesting. I think that's interesting for one of their top priorities. Backwards compatibility has always been a priority for them, but just we'll keep that there on the back burner. And then number 4, inasmuch as there is some rewriting, as in number 3, it will be to remedy some particularly offensive or unclear passages, not to change rules. 5 plus. And other minor stuff while we're at it. The above will inevitably change the size, shape, and location of art and quote boxes, so expect art and quotes to change too. We'll update the credits to reflect additional material in the addenda and the creatives who created the revised book. I'm sure there are like 100 things like that. Number 3 is the single most important. This number 3 is about not changing page references. Number 3 is the single most. Hold on. I'm a little crackly. Well, that's interesting. I'm a little crackly. Huh. Why might I be crackly? Hold on. Let's see. Uh, I don't. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Let me do this. I'm going to see if I can hear myself. What do we have? I'm looking for close. You are this. Let us monitor and output. Hello. 1, 2. Yeah, no, I'm hearing a bit of that. Hold on. Let's try. Hello? Test 1, 2. That did it. I just restarted is what I did. Just did a restart of my audio while we were here. I thought that would fix it, and it looks like it did. Thank you, by the way. Uh, Thank you. I just restarted my audio interface because maybe it was feeling kinds of ways. Okay, so back to that post. He says, um, number 3, which is that making sure that all the page references remain the same, is the single most important element living up to the promise of compatibility. There are literally millions of page references and 21 years of supplements and articles, not to mention community discussions. Invalidating them would mean a huge slap in the face. But number 1 is the main reason to do the thing, which is the big layout stuff. So it isn't a conflict. It's a visual upgrade that doesn't insult customers while still providing both enhanced readability and some extra best of addenda. I can say without shilling or exaggerating that it is far more than a new printing. It just isn't a full edition. There are things between the two. A revision is one of those things. If all a reader cares about is the rules, well, there will be lots of addenda, but no, not a full revision. However, lots of readers care about readability, sensitivity, design aesthetics, being aware that it's 21 years later, etc., even if not a single rule changes. Well, that's it for my needless leaks to follow Steve Jackson's leaks, but the takeaways are better, more readable layout with different art and quotes, mostly less controversial words, excepting indefinite pronouns for economic reasons, more than 25 pages of best of rules skimmed from 21 years of system growth, incidental glitch cleanup, for example, mistaken damage for energy or than for that, promise of no rules or page reference changes to maintain total compatibility. So that is the sort of the leak that came from the Discord, the unofficial GURPS Discord, talking about this new revision, where the number 1 thing that they said was most important was not to invalidate all the page references that have been going on for the last 21 years. And I thought that was really interesting because that is something that very few people, like when I've seen other there was no, when 3.5 came out, which was thought of as a revision, I guess, or somewhere in between, there was no discussion of that. And I also don't recall hearing maintaining page references being a high priority for D&D 2025. So I thought that was really interesting. And then, of course, immediately a bunch of people were like, oh, there's going to be a revised edition. Oh, I wonder if they can change the cost of this, because I really think that this affliction should be cost at 10 points or 5 points, but not 10. And there's all this discussion of like what people would want new point costs for each attribute and stuff like that to be. And Chrome was like, no, we're not redoing point costs. This is not a new edition. This is a revision. That's right. We're maintaining right full compatibility. So I thought that was super interesting. And then it became the discussion of, well, I don't see what layout has to do with anything. Like, why? What does layout have to do with accessibility? And Chrome was like, 3 columns is not good for screen readers. Like, and there are a bunch of things about the PDF that were not made for screen readers, and we can just make them more accessible for people who need accessibility features in their PDFs. We can just do that. And that'll be one of the big priorities for the 4th ed. And then I mentioned that there are people out there who believe that if your design looks old, then your game is no longer relevant, and they will not read a game that has a design aesthetic that seems old to them. So there are people who might like GURPS, but who will not look at it because it has a 3-column layout. You know what I mean? So clearly there are some people who will just not look at a game if it looks old in terms of layout and aesthetic. And also they have hired sensitivity readers to go through some of their language and fix that. And I think that's pretty cool. Polygeek, also font choice matters for accessibility. Yes, it does, right? Polygeek, it absolutely does. So they wanted to go and do this to make it actually a lot more accessible and better for screen readers and that. And people had all sorts of feelings about, they're like, what, they're not going to go, and basically some people wanted a new edition, and he was very clear, this is not a new edition. This is a revision of the basic set, but it is also not a new edition, right? Dow says, I'm happy for an excuse to give them money again. Me too. Welcome back, Atomica. So that was the little teaser, and there was this discussion, and he just, and by say just, I mean 13 minutes ago, right? A very short time ago, not that long ago. Oh, well, no, not because he's in Montreal, and that's Eastern time. So 3 hours ago. So like 3 hours ago, he made another post on the message board with some clarifications, a follow-up, and I wanted to read that to you as well, and then we can play and talk about it. So the follow-up is, here's a follow-up to the earlier what is this info that Doug shared and that I elaborated on. I was just cleared by Steve in marketing to share more, though not everything. None of this is likely to change, however. It will just be better worded in official publicity. And no, I have no date as yet. Bigger. A single omnibus volume, like most modern RPGs, eliminates duplicate end papers to make room for more game content. So rather than two separate volumes, campaigns and characters, it looks like they're going to have just one big PDF of hundreds of pages. I don't know what this means for printing. I think one of the reasons why Steve Jackson Games has tended to do the basic set in 2 volumes is that it's a little bit better on spines, but who knows? I don't know if I don't even know if there's going to be a hard copy. Anyhow, so bigger, single omnibus volume, 16 pages longer, allows for even more game content, 27 pages of bonus content. We have filled the extra space with best of and popular rules and traits curated from 21 years of GURPS supplements and pyramid issues. Better, rewording to improve clarity and address FAQs, errata fixes, sensitivity revisions for the modern reader. More accessible, modern PDF, allows better rendering and faster searches and page flipping. 2-column layout with more spacious pages, easier to read for all, machine readable icons. And then plus bells and whistles, prettier, new distinctive cover and new interior color art culled from the entire GURPS opus to better illustrate the material. Informative box quotes, gone are filler pull quotes, replaced with rules clarifications and summaries and pointers to related rules and supplements, and total backwards compatibility. No rules changes, just clarity and errata fixes, and no page reference changes. So that is the most recent and updated news that I wanted to share with you as we start playing Mutazione, because I want to talk with you about it. Things just off the top of my head that I find interesting is the importance for them with backwards compatibility, especially in page referencing, which is not something I've heard anybody else really talk about. The ways in which GURPS, much like Call of Cthulhu, is really invested in backwards compatibility in such that, like when they went from 3 to 4, they put out a PDF on how to update your campaign from one to the next. I think that's kind of interesting. What they are doing and how people are responding to it. People who want their house rule included, but they're like, this is not a new edition. So like, and also, but basically the line between a new printing, which Crom says this is not, a revision, which Crom says this is, and a new edition, because I can't help but think about all the conversations around D&D 2024, 2025, 2022, 2020, in the year 2525, you know, that one, with WotC saying this is not a new edition, but players saying this is clearly a new edition. And then I'm thinking about Vampire 2nd Edition revised and the differences between that. So I'm thinking about the difference between a reprinting, an edition, and a revision, and priorities for what you want to do in a revision. What's the purpose and function of a revision? And I want to know your thoughts about this, because I find this super fascinating. And while you give me your thoughts, I'm going to actually start up the game. But also we have a giveaway today. I hope I don't forget. I'm going to see what you have to say. Hey, Valtiel, how are you? We are chatting GURPS. Paper is hella expensive these days. So, okay. Let's see. But Rissa, the thing is, paper has never been the number one cost, right, of these things, which is like one of the big, like so many people are like, I don't see why I can't get a PDF for free. I should just get game companies should not charge for PDFs. They should just be free. You should just be able to give them, or like $1, because you're not paying for paper and ink, except that that's just not where all the costs go, right? Like the costs go to the writers and the artists and the computer software and electricity and rent and health insurance and like keeping the business, like there are a lot more costs than just the cost of paper. And I just think a lot about that. Let's see. Rissa says, Bill will be sad to see the pull quotes go. Yeah, but I figure they need the space, right? Atomica says, I have some weird gaming news, which I want to hear. Polygeek says, I wonder if games that expect growth over time of rules ever consider using legal style section, subsection, paragraph notation for numbers documents to reduce reliance on page numbers, which force a boundary on revisability. Polygeek, I have a really good answer for you. And I do have a good answer for you. Or like, I don't think it's an official answer, but I do have an answer for you that I'm very excited to share. Crohn's 2024 is the official designation they use. Thank you. Cleopatra, Jer, I know you. Atomic says, I've been getting confident enough with my piano playing that I started designing a simple NES era level RPG town theme. Oh, nice. I find it's helping me really memorize the key placements, so I have to write down what I'm creating. That is great, actually. Werewolf says, oh, you mean new D&D, the new flavor. You're talking about new Coke, aren't you? Or they might be bringing the old recipe back, or that might have been Coke. I think they're doing both. So, Polygeek, what I'm thinking of is, so there's this thing I'm going to tell you. It's a thing that I don't like, and it is related to what you're saying. Not that I didn't like what you're saying. I think what you're saying is super cool, but a thing that I'm going to say is related to this. So there were RPGs that did use that system, right? The section, subsection, paragraph notation, the 1.1. A lot of war games did. But there were a couple of RPGs in the early 80s, late 70s that did that. Did Twilight 2000 do that? Anyway, there are games that did that. And actually, I think the first edition of Paranoia might have done it. I'd have to check. But I think the first edition of Paranoia did it. There are games that did it. And again, I do think that there's something very practical and great about that. However, and here's the thing that I don't like. I was listening to a podcast with people that I respect very much, but they, despite being very smart, very good people, they do tend to have this attitude that I wish they didn't have, that I see a lot of people have, which is to see things in terms of evolution, right? That it is better now than it was then. Comments like, it's too bad that people back in the 70s hadn't figured out how to do game design yet. It's too bad that, you can really tell that this is like this RPG is from the 80s, which means it hasn't developed. It doesn't know how to be a game yet. It hasn't learned how to, because like we now know how to do games better than they did in the 80s or in the 90s or in the aughts, right? This idea that RPGs are a teleological Darwinian thing where better things replace the old things and things that are old are no longer good. And this then carries over to design, right? And I've heard people say things like, oh yeah, this game has tables in it, which means it's not a really modern game. And it's just too bad they didn't go and make a modern game because we understand how to do games better now, which I find very insulting and irritating, if you don't mind me saying. But the thing about the sort of the subparagraph, that numbering system that you're talking about, which again, very practical, for a lot of people, that reads old design. And there are people who will not play a game if it has old design, because that means that because our design aesthetic now is clearly better, fundamentally or inherently better, because we know more about design than the bad people in the past who didn't know how to draw cats, which is not what was happening. So there's a thing in which I think that if you put those numbers on your game, unless you were specifically trying to aim for a nostalgia market, probably from people who weren't actually there, it will probably be a hamper in getting your stuff sold, because people have decided that things that look like they're 5 years old must no longer be good. And I don't like that, if you don't mind me saying, because um, I don't think that we know how to design games better now than we did then. I don't think that's like 10 years ago. I think what has happened is there's a wider diversity of game design, which means I think that more things are there, but that doesn't mean that the new thing, because we have the new thing, we don't need the old thing, because what that tends to mean is people saying that rules light narrativist games are the evolutionary apex of RPGs, and we just need to get rid of all those old games with all the rules, because that's before they knew how to make a game right. And I'm like, ooh, that's bad. This is a different preference and a style. Both of those styles are good. They don't have to supersede one another. So I think one of the reasons why people don't do that things because they used to, and if you do that, people will think your game is old, and they will think it's no longer relevant, and they won't buy it, because that's how some people are. It makes me sad. Makes me sad. Makes me sad. Where I was like, keep me to try that. Is it? Oh, Chris Pepsi. Trooper question: what is a modern game? I can answer that question. Not my opinion, but I can answer what people mean by it. Polygeeks, gotcha, unfortunate, but interesting. But it is unfortunate, right? Because actually, I just don't think that's true, right? Like, I mean, I heard people say, oh, I would never play GURPS because it has 3 columns, and that just shows you that it's an old game, and therefore it's not modern, right? Like, oh, okay, so the layout is the whole reason why you're not going to try that. Okay, but also why? So, what is a modern game? When people say modern game, Werewolf, in a lot of cases, the new thing is actually worse because capitalism wants to make things cheap and disposable. Yes. And past a certain point, rules light. Couldn't the apex of RPGs just play pretend with your friends? Well, some people would say that, right? Some people say the apex of RPGing is just playing pretend with your friends, and you should use my game that has like just one rule, because that is the apex. And if we all did it as people said, and if we just all did it this way, then RPGs would be as popular as everything, as like TV and movies and video games, because it's just so natural to tell stories with your friends. And if we just did that game, but I was like, yeah, but people stopped telling stories with their friends also, and they played, like, people don't run it. There's some wishful thinking going on here, but Werewolf feels, what is a modern game? From the way that people talk about modern games are rules light narrativist games. That's what they are. That tend to have no fail state or mitigated fail states, no GM or shared GM, that focus more on narrative than they do on mechanics, or rules. And that in the bad days, people didn't understand that. There's a whole sense that a modern game is a narrativist game that is rules light. And I like games like that, but I don't think it's cool to frame RPG history as, when people didn't understand how to make games, they made games with like crunchy rules, but now we know better and now we don't have them, and that makes these games are inherently better because they have fewer rules, when rather these games are better for you because you like that style. I also enjoy that style. I enjoy many styles, but it's being framed as if what I think is personal preference is being framed as objective game design skill, which I just don't think that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and to make the last thing obsolete, yes, right? So Daggerheart isn't a modern game. Well, Krellin, there are a lot of debates about Daggerheart on Reddit about this. People saying that it was almost a modern game, but it just basically didn't let go of enough mechanics. Other people say that Daggerheart is a modern game. It is a PBTA game. It's just that Matt Mercer doesn't know how to run it. He doesn't actually know how to run a Daggerheart because he doesn't run it the way it's supposed to be run, because they see that as purely a PBTA game, which I do not think it is. A Powered by the Apocalypse game, I think, is doing a lot of things, and that is one of the influences, but not the only one. Right? So, yeah. Hello, Pope. How are you? It's so good to see you, Pope. To be clear, I'm intending to go reductio ad absurdum. Oh, I love you for this. It's like saying that classical music is no good because we have heavy metal, or the harpsichord is obsolete because we have theremins now or synths. Well, but yeah, Polygeek, absolutely, right? That's the thing. People are talking this way. And it's wild to me, right? Like synths are great. I love synth, but there's a reason why I have an analog synth in addition to software synths, because they do different things. One's not necessarily better than the other. They just do different things. But people really get into this sort of obsolete thing, right? They really sort of get into this obsolete mindset where the new thing is, yeah. And like I see your absurdum and I see you and I see it and I accept it. Like what are we doing here, right? Like it's very it's and what I think is so odd is that it's at odds with the kind of well, you know what, I would say it's at odds with the kind of nostalgia culture, but I think maybe it's not, because when I think about uh nostalgia RPGs, the OSR, most of those OSR players do not actually play the old school. They don't play the D&D Basic or Expert or AD&D 1E. They actually play brand new games that have repackaged those rules in a modern way, right? So, right? You know what I'm saying? Yes. Werewolf says, or Daggerheart, that confounding creature whose impact is still unfolding as we speak. Mm-hmm. Hawkeye says, yep, Matt has no clue how to run a game he helped create. That's what people are saying very vigorously on Reddit. And I'm like, wow. Wow. Interesting take there. Interesting. Looking around at the world today, one should not trust everyone's opinion. That Pope, you should only trust ChatGPT. Because only ChatGPT loves you and cares about you. And only ChatGPT is a place where you can share all of your private thoughts and maybe also your social security number. Because ChatGPT is your friend and it cares about you. In case you wanted to know, Pope is screaming. Tripper, you really need to stop hanging out Reddit. Well, okay. Can I tell you all something? This is what I'm going to tell you is ridiculous, but it is a thing that happens, and it's not anything I could. It's just what happens. If I stop going to Reddit, then I couldn't do this thing that happens. So I will go through Reddit. This is just what happens. It's just what my brain does. It's not my fault. I do not do it actively. I have intrusive thoughts, and the intrusive thoughts are I go through Reddit and I just look at titles, and because of the kind of Reddit space, I have a lot of like ask historians, ask professors, a lot of ask threads on my Reddit feed, and what happens is that here, let me see if I can give you an example of what happens when I'm looking at Reddit. Let's see. None of these are good questions. Oh gosh, I'm not getting a really good one right now. But basically, it is I will see a question, and then in my mind, the answer will be your mom or your dad. One of the it just like boom. So somebody's like, what is the worst thing that's happened to society? Your mom. What what is the one thing that everybody should do? Your mom. Like, like it in like if I didn't scroll through Reddit, I could not have random your moms and your dads pop into my mind when I read titles of Reddit threads. Um, yeah, I just thought I would tell you that that is happening quite often in my mind. Just it's just in case anybody wanted to know about my relationship with Reddit, and also I can put this down, which means I can put my chat where I want it so I can see it better. Thank you, thank you, thank you, chat. Boop. Excuse me. I just want my chat where I want it. There. Okay. Reddit is a great sociology experiment. I also think it's better than Twitter. Um, I have two sides: one wolf who only lies, and one man who only tells the truth. Um, Werewolf says it can also enlighten you as to how, people are approaching problems in online spaces. It also steals a part of your soul that will never come back. Don't ask how I know. Oh. Pope World build. Intrusive Thoughts really should be the name of a Talking Heads album. It really should. What is the airspeed of an unladen swallow? What is your favorite color? So yeah, so I was just, and also I have found it really fascinating to see shifts in the kinds of questions that people ask over time. Like, I just think it's interesting. But I will say there are many more threads that I do not answer, that I think about, than I do answer. Because sometimes my answer is your dad. What is your request? Your mom. See, this is what I'm saying. My favorite color is my dad. Is that how it's supposed to work? Because it feels wrong. Maybe not. I think you could work it. Flip it, something, and reverse it. As Missy Elliott said. Look, I just, I think it's Lindy. I blame Lindy. We are midday at day 3. I didn't realize how much I'd missed swimming. So what do y'all think about this new revised edition? Some people really want it to be like a full-on Novatech. A full-on new edition, but that is clearly not what they're going for. So I just kind of wanted to know what you thought. Are you excited? I am, but I also feel like if there's going to be a new revised basic set, that probably is the time for me to run something in GURPS on my channel, huh? But I don't know when it's coming out. And if it is going to come out, I'm sure they're not going to have VTD support because they just never do. Which means I would need to get a lot of stuff prepped before it actually comes out so I can move quickly. But I don't know when that's going to be. But I am excited. If you know... Yeah. What do you think about the desire to remain backwards compatible? What do you think about that? I think it's interesting. Did I imagine that deer I saw here? And also, I gotta say, when I saw people being like, oh, we're gonna get a new revision, a revised edition, I hope that means that we can have this and this and this. And I was like, yeah, but I don't think everybody agrees with you that affliction should go from 10 to 5 or whatever, or unaging should go from this or that. That's your house rule. And I'm just now imagining that every single person and their mother is going to be like, Crom, I want this to happen in the game. Oh, we're blaming Lindy for the fact that in my head, your mom happens quite often. That's all. That's all. I'd be curious as to what the creators want from a new GURPS. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. Pope World says, sounds like a post move. You'll have plenty on your plate, much to prep. Yeah, I think so. But also, Pope, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to come out before I move anyway, because I move in 2.5 months, and I cannot imagine the revised edition happens is going to come out before I move. So I'm sure I have time. Death Credible Hulk says, oh no, it's almost 1:30. Time for bed. Oh, go to bed. I wish you a good time zone. I'll be off to go to sleep, my friend. And I will see you either Friday or Saturday or Sunday. I will see you around. And then we will, what's the word? Well, we'll do whatever it is we're doing on the day that I see you. Right? Werewolf says, I think there's always that thing with a new edition where, as I've worked on some, a lot of people want come down to the last game, but with my homebrew changes. Yeah. And maybe that's not always the best, way to do it. Huh, it's a fixie. Maybe someone forgot how to brake. Ooh. Hey, look, there's stuff here. There's a bike. I wonder if I could fix the bike. Oh, okay. I think we're just gonna go. I think we're going this way. We're getting, we're getting percussion that might make me nervous, but I don't know. This place looks really a little ominous. Okay. Hey, I'm just letting you know that I'm feeling some ominous. You. Do you hear that? It's a little creepy. we're gonna raid Wandering DM's Witcher game tonight. Don't let me forget. Oh, hey, look, a little stick bug. That's cool. I don't. I want to check chat because I'm nervous about what's happening in the game. So then I also don't want to check chat because I feel like I only want to check chat because I'm nervous about what's going to happen right now because the sound is strange. So I feel like I should check chat when it's not me being avoidant. It's because I sort of hit a scene moment, like right now. Speaking of your mom jokes, my roommates and I were messing around with each other the other day, and I threatened to take one of their moms out on a date since she's my age. He looked panicked as the other two died laughing at his panic. I love that. I love that. That is awesome. Down Nomad says, I appreciate their nomenclature. Revised is right for what they're doing. I can't say if the world actually needs a new version. Is it already... It is already a very open system? Yeah, I have no experience running a campaign, though. Still hope to. Crown says, I never want something from a new product because I'm always disappointed. I think... Yeah, people forget that not all tables work like their home tables. Yes. Omelette, you finish? So I think, for me, and their home tables are very insular. And also, did I finish Midst Unend? I did, Krellin. I did. I finished it. And didn't we see that place with all the doors in Moonfall? I feel like we did. So I have some questions. I have questions. So also, many people who are fans are not game designers. Not to be rude, but like Crom has, like, it has been his job to deal with rules and wrangle rules and think about rules for like 30 something years. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's that. There's that. That line was, oh my God, that last line in Midst was so good. And I was like, this was my reaction. Part one of the line, what? Oh no. Part two of the line, what? Oh no. That's a, oh no? That was my response. If you don't listen to the podcast Midst, you should. It's really good. Just gonna say that. So we've done that. We're gonna go and it's midday. We're gonna walk around. So here's the thing. Do you need a revised edition? Well, they did a revised for third. So I think the cynical idea would be, oh, they just want to do a revised edition as a cash grab. But they clearly are doing a lot of work to add a bunch of things, clarify things. And they, ooh, hello, bug. Can I talk to you? No, apparently not. And there are things that are clearly important to them, right? They want the PDF to be modern and accessible to screen readers. They want to have a sensitivity reader go over their language and make it better, right? Because GURPS 4th edition carried over a lot of language from GURPS 3rd edition, which probably carried over a lot of language from 1st and 2nd, which wasn't that long of a space, which means there's a lot of language from 1988. And, you know, there are things in there that are less great now than maybe they were never great, but, you know, and they want to change that. And I think that's cool. Like, I think that's, like this tree is where we live. We're going to think this is like planting. This is, then maybe you take the things you give an offer to like a giant eldritch mushroom. I don't know. I have to think about this. But maybe the mushroom is also part of the ecosystem of this world. There are questions I have, and we will work it out, I think. But I think what we should probably do is see what everybody's out about doing in the town on day 3. Especially we should visit our mushroom friends, I think. Yeah. So, but of course there will also be new rules options. Like I think what they're going to do is that Crom is going to go through the last 21 years worth of supplements, pyramid magazines, articles, everything, and look at which of the, like all of the power-ups, all those things, look at which of the option rules he thinks of as being a lot more core, right, than optional, and then place those in the extra spaces they've got for the book. If you know what I'm saying, like, I think that he's trying to do, oh, hey, it's Mew. I could talk to the archive person, but I could also talk to Mew right now. This seems very good. We can talk about her garden and what she's up to. No system is perfect and updates are important. Yeah. Right. My thought was on if we need a version 5, as some seem to want. Oh, Dow, that's a good question. Their vision seems well thought out. Yeah. Hey, Artie, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm excited for the Reflect session on Sunday. I am so excited for the Reflect session on Sunday. Me too. I've already sort of like sketched out like areas of conversation, and so that's exciting. I think they're good. I think they're a go. But the agenda points that I have proposed for the group are: 1, character advancement, right? So that because one of the things that happen when you do a 1-shot or 2-shot of games, you almost never do character advancement. So people who might be wanting to know how a game works often don't know how that works. And often sometimes character advancement happens off screen anyway. So I want us to talk about character advancement in The Expanse. And then I want to talk about how the system did the challenges, how the system supported the archetypes, or what the archetypes were like in that system. And then like our general impression about the system. And then of course we can build with each cycle. It's very excited. Yeah, so Dow, the question is about like, do we need a 5? So Dow, this goes back to this thing. I actually don't think we need a 5th edition of GURPS. But so I think it's good. But the problem is that there are people for whom, if there is not a new edition, they think the game is dead, and then there's no reason to play it. Even though GURPS comes out with new materials all the time. There's like some really cool stuff that's just come out recently too. And some companies put out new editions, even if maybe they don't need to, just so they can get people to remember their game exists so they can get sales. And 4th edition has been around since 2004, and they don't really do that. And so some people think, oh, if we just get a 5th edition, then everyone will play GURPS again, and everyone will be excited about GURPS. And it's true, if you do a 5th edition, you can get a big buzz and all of that, and probably a lot of marketing. But I just don't know if we actually need a 5th edition. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know if we need one. Oh, hey. I'm just drying out in the sun. Skooma. Bird takes ages. Oh. Well, that's cool. Yeah, so I think this is a thing that I'm thinking about. I think that, and it makes me sad, right? Like, there are people who are like, oh, you know, those people are like, oh, well, this new edition came out. There's no point ever playing the old edition. I was like, well, but what if you like the old edition? What if the old edition still has cool stuff that you want to do? 2 decades between editions is surprising restraint. Yeah, and the thing is, let me think. So GURPS 3rd edition came out in 88, and 4th edition came out in 2004. So it was, 16 years between the 3rd and 4th edition. The 1st and 2nd edition came out in the same year, I'm pretty sure. And then the 3rd edition came out like 1 year later. It was kind of like Vampire 1 to do 2 edition, like they were like basically a year apart. But it was like 16 years for the 3rd edition, and then 21 years for the 4th edition. There was a 3rd edition revised somewhere in the middle of that space that cleaned up some stuff, added, some stuff. Now we're getting a revised edition that, I mean, I'm going to get it. Obviously, I'm going to get it. But I imagine you don't have to get it, but I think it'll make things a lot more accessible. And I'm really excited to see, like, we're going to get all the, like, we're going to get clarifications, clarity, errata, updates, fixes, and some additions. So I'm just excited about it. I think it'll be really great. But it does make me sad that people think, oh, well, if there's no new addition, then there's no point playing it. And I think that's sad because some games are only one book, and you could just play them. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying there. 2 decades between edition. Yeah. So, but I also respect. Crom has been very clear. He's like, I'm never going to make a 5th edition unless there's a reason to, right? Like, he thinks there has to be a compelling reason to make a new edition in order to make one. You don't make one willy-nilly. You make one because there's a reason why you need one, right? And I think that's cool. How are you two doing? Need any seconds? We certainly don't need any more gossip, Maury. I don't remember what this person's voice was. Cheeky. Can you make some of the muntjac from last night into a sandwich for me, Maury? Of course, love. Oh. You know what's interesting? People aren't talking to me. They seem to have got their own stuff going on. So I'm going to just wander around and see if I can find people to talk to. I'm supposed to talk to my grandpa. I know it. But it's probably actually important for me to talk to my grandpa. So I think I will before I explore the rest of this half of the map. But I do want to go downstairs because it's just close enough to where my grandpa lives that I could just do a little bit of a downstairs check to see what's going on. It's been a while. Huh. I guess it's hard to keep a cave clean. Hello, big creature. That's cool. Prax says, okay, that voice for the character became so much more sinister after watching the first couple episodes of Critical Role Campaign 4. How are you feeling about Critical Role Campaign 4, Prax? Besides, it is not a West Marches campaign. Although I think that Brendan Lee Mulligan is not calling it a West Marches campaign himself. I think he's calling it inspired by West Marches campaigns. Okay, so hear me out, says Medisty. Yeah, there it is, a distinctly new data point. Papu brand fertilizer. Fascinating. I call it Papu manure. Brasky. Not exactly inspiring. I thought this dirt was too strong for regular gardens. Exactly. It's got brand power. They are really into their marketing, our strange creatures. Papa Manure. It's simply repackaging our regular dirt, but branded with Papu identity. And the best thing is, the market is wide open right now, with Nono out of the picture. Yes, thank goodness the old man is ill. Hey, what is going on here? I like our dirt. It's good for sleeping on. I don't want to brand it. You gotta think about the bigger picture, Sal. Let's track progress again, no? Let's track progress again tomorrow. Yeah, we mustn't leap to conclusions. What are they up to, those people? My strange wiener friends. I have some notes and critiques, but I'm waiting until we get to see what the actual campaigns are going to look like and not just these Overture 4 shots intro. Yeah, because clearly this is like everybody at the table all the time, mixing things up, go, but they're now, I suppose, now fully separated into the 2 different groups. And I cannot imagine they're going to want to have the entire cast in the studio the entire time. So, Jill A seems to be a jazz fan. Well, this certainly does look like 1950s, early 60s bachelor jazz pad. It does look like that. So I'm currently writing a mini game for the game Meat Circus Game Jam. Yes, I've got Meat Circus on the mind. I'm thinking about the Meat Circus as well. And the sausages are interesting when people will get to see what I'm writing. I feel like you did a pun there, and I appreciate that. I also cannot speak to my Jello friend. Guess I gotta talk to my grandpa, huh? Guess that's what I gotta do. Guess they're just gonna make me do that. That's fine. I don't mind talking to my grandpa. No, no. He's cool. I just, wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything with other people. You know. So this is supposed to be the last of our 4 intro episodes. And 2 of the 3 groups are still together for this one. And then after that, all 3 groups. So we're going to have 3 groups, Prax. Oh. Oh, I thought we were only having 2. 3 groups of 4 rather than 2 groups of 6? Okay. Do they know who... Is it... Are the 3 groups set? Do they know who they are? This is me not... I mean, I think it would probably make sense if they'd said it, but, I mean, I just don't know. Hi, sweetie. Will we see how the sausage is made, asks Pope. Meat Circus would be a heck of a name for a nightclub. Yes, it would, Polygeek. So Meat Circus, as a nightclub, would probably have a lot of industrial music, I feel like. It'd be like a lot of industrial goth, right? Maybe. By the way, while they aren't doing a C4 episode next week, they are having a stream next week. Oh. The one group is 5. Ah. Oh, Meat Circus, Psychonauts, Atomica. I love that game. There was a weird difficulty spike for one challenge, but I love that game. Yeah. Hi, sweetie. Thanks for dropping by. So glad you decided to have a treatment. What? I've been going distracted sitting here on my own. So, what can I do for you? Hands, nails, feet, hair, face? Dealer's choice. You choose? You've been gardening, right? Lots of grubby digging. So how about we concentrate on your hands? A lot of people neglect their hands. But sure. We can do a nail file and shape, cuticle treatment, sea salt and oil exfoliation, and a lovely relaxing hand and lower arm massage. You'll love it. Take a seat and let's get started. So, nearly there. So, 3 groups. I have questions. When I was in that big epic Call of Cthulhu campaign that is still running, by the way, it started in like 1980 something, early 80s when it started when Call of Cthulhu came out. So it is still running. So it's a campaign that has been running for like 40 years. And when I was in that campaign, there were 20 something players. I think the max we had was 30 something. And we were all separated into smaller groups. Like a big sandbox with multiple groups. But group membership wasn't fixed in the sense that if your character had reason to go and join the Alexandria group, then they would leave this one group and they'd go to the Alexandria group. Like my group started off as the Hollywood group, but then then my character and 2 others joined the Islanders group because that's where the story took us. And so I wonder if the characters will be able to swap groups depending on if that makes sense for the story. Or the sandbox, whichever you want to go, or if they're in fixed groups. I wonder. Nearly there. I heard you went for a swim this morning. Everybody knows everything in this place. I don't like it. That must have been lovely. People, this is what I don't like about small towns. Everybody knows your business. And good from you to have company today. Let's ask about Mew. She seemed kind of sad. She's always quiet. Yokè uses the word terse, like a tight kind of quiet. But today's an especially hard day for her. It's not my place to say more. Well, you brought it up, but if she's decided to spend the time with you today, well, that's wonderful. Now, what do you think? I want to know what happened with Mew. I'm going to try and compliment her work. Oh, they're very, smooth. Thanks. Well, I hope that's a good thing. Don't worry about getting them dirty again. I know how it is. By the way, I was also last night, because I was listening to that Olivia Newton-John I was mentioning. Then I got to see this duet that Olivia Newton-John did with Dolly Parton of Jolene 2 years ago. It was nice. Just come back and I can touch them up. Questions. Have you checked in on Nono this morning? No, I will. You can show me your beautiful nails. All right, okay. I get it. I'll talk to Nono, Hello, Dots. There's a little dot up there in the corner, hanging from the wire. By the way, I'm going to talk to him. Oh, hey, wait. Everybody, hold on. Wait. If you look at the salon, note, if you look at the salon, in that circle, it looks like there's like a stained glass window, and there are 6 colors on that window above the salon. Oh, wait, you can't see it. Let me move so you can. Hold on. I think you should be able to see it now. There it is, right? There are 6 colors, and I believe there are also 6 colors related to the symbols that we make our gardens out of. So let's keep an eye on that. Otripper, I saw a few things on Blue Sky that made me think of you. Oh, I'm going to check Blue Sky, because if you've got things that made you think of me, I bet I'm going to be excited by them. Yes. Okay, so we've got stuff going on, but we're going to talk to Grandpa first. To Nonno. If we talk to him, it's going to advance time. All right, fine. Okay, we'll do it. Ah, there you are. Mori said you went for a swim with Mew. Why does everybody know my business? I don't like it. I don't want everybody to know my business. How was she? What's everyone not saying? Yeah, what is everyone not saying? What are the things you saw, Artie? I mean, I'm gonna check Blue Sky, but give me a spoiler. Today is a difficult day for her. I'm gonna ask what that means. Okay, but what does that mean? Let me put it this way. There is power in speaking a story. The story is hers to give. And I wouldn't deprive you of the opportunity to listen. Okay, so I can't help? I will not tell you what is hers to tell. But perhaps there is something you can do. Did she mention that she used to have a garden near the archive? Yes, she did actually. Why not grow something there? Bring life back to her garden. Find the composition that fits that rough earth. I would recommend, in particular, Blackpool lily flower. It was a favorite of hers. And it also has soothing, fragrant properties. That song she sang. Go on. She sang something when we were swimming. She said it reminded her of, it made me feel a bit like that song you sang with the drumming. Oh, well done. Yes, not all plants respond to the same resonant harmonies. There are several varieties. Many of them are remembered locally as folk melodies. But with the drumming, the circle of intent and action, I think you're enough to go on there, my girl. I suggest you attempt it this afternoon. I see. Okay, well, the garden by the archive is a very special one. I used to help Mew grow a fine crop of ghost flower and Phaedora. Ghost flower, Phaedora, Blackpool lily. It's quite close to the water table, so things that thrive in damp conditions grow well there. Damp and rough earth. Okay, we're gonna... I forgot. I said it out loud so I wouldn't forget it, but then I promptly forgot it. Hold on. Where can I write notes? I need a place to write notes. Hold on. Well, I could write notes here, but this is a bad place to write notes. Can I write notes here? Not the best place to write notes, but okay. It was Fedora. That Blackpool Lily. That's probably not the right name, but I'll find it. And then there was one other one. Oh, music things from the Outer Worlds 2? Ooh, okay, I'm very excited. I need to play that. Praxis, because Nona Watch is a thing, we don't have to worry about security. All the Nonas are on the street. I know, and they always know your business. I forgot the other plant. It was Fedor, Blackpool, Lily, and something Dora, maybe? Something Dora? Perhaps? Plants, and we've got rough and damp. Okay, well, my friends, we're going to make our second garden. Here's the thing, though. I actually think that it's the same symbol as we did before, because when she sang that song, I noticed she still had the hexagon. So I feel like we are going to be making another one of the kind of hexagon gardens. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh. There are people talking here. Huh. I didn't notice these before. Cool old paintings. I don't mean to intrude. Sorry, am I interrupting? You are very, you're very welcome, dear girl. Of course you are. I'm gonna ask about gardens. It's okay, I won't keep you. I was just wondering if you found any more, garden info, Yokè? Oh my, I am sorry, of course. Let me try and find my notes. I think Mum's in her garden at the moment. If you need any extra seeds or anything, I'm sure she'd give you some. They were just here a moment ago. I can't remember Claire's voice. These gosh darned eyes. Damn your eyes. Kyla, why don't you come back later? I'm gonna help Yokè find his notes. Okay. I will come back later. Stuff is happening in this town. I want you all to know it. I do not know where the garden is going to be, but it's supposed to be by the archive. So we're just going to do a little check to see if we can find the location. And then I will... So it's got to be... I think it has to be down here, right? This must be where it's planted. Maybe? Yes. There's a creature that just swam by in the water. Oh, hey. Thanks for coming swimming earlier. It was cool to spend time with you. Sure. I used to live here. In these ruins? Well, they obviously weren't ruins back then, genius. Sorry. Over here was the entrance. And over there was the back garden. Oh, faced east. Oh, I think we mean before the cataclysm. I watered it while the sun rose. Yeah, we should probably plant some seeds, huh? But I realized that I may not... Okay, Blackpool Lily, right? So Blackpool Lily was the one that they mentioned, but that is Melancholia. I see things. I see things. should we be mixing things or not? I'm going to actually pop out because I think we should look at our plant thing and just do a little bit of a look-see while I'm looking at chat. It started with AG and it ended with Dora. Attorney General Dora, the convicta? Dora the prosecutor. Should have gone with that. So we're looking at the black. There's like a Fedora, some kind of, Fedora, Blackpool Lily, and something else. But I can't remember what it was. Maybe we'll find it. So here's the Blackpool Lily, gentle word, habitat and cultivation, soil, water, found in undisturbed lakes and rivers with moderate temperatures. Blackpool lily flower. So it looks like water, and then there's this other thing. That's melancholy. So we're looking for maybe some melancholy things, but we're also looking to see if we can find some of the other symbols that... one was Fedora, I'm pretty sure, but I do not remember what the other one was. So I guess Evanescence. Fan Amanita. Okay. Let's see. No mushroom, goblet flower, gold palm. We're looking to see what we got here. Green shingu's hobbyberry. The thing is, I wish it went in my mind in one ear and right out the other. I'm trying to remember what it was that they said I should be looking for. Nejon palm. Okay. Fedora was one of them. Regular soil found in dense forests. Okay, so we definitely want the Fedora and this Blackpool lily, but there was something else that we were supposed to use, and was it the rain willow? Was it not was it the rain willow? We're probably looking for melancholy here is what we're looking for, but I don't remember. Wall plant? I don't think so. Maybe it was that one that I just forgot right now again. Oh, letter G. I'm using text-to-speech because I know you can't type because somebody's out to get you. It was Florida, and then another one that started with G. Oh, okay, right. It was it was like the Fedora, like the Fedora, and then another one started with G. And yes, okay, so it was a G one, right? Okay, thank you, Prax. A G one. Let's see. I think we just need to put together as many, like we're looking for a G that is melancholy. I don't know if we have one. Oh, but also some of these we may not know the... all right, well, here's what's going to happen. We're going to try to plant as many melancholy seeds as we can. We're going to start with the Blackpool lily, which we can plant here. Okay. Is the gnome mushroom melancholy? Let's see. Oop. Giant golden palm, green lichen, hobbleberry. Oh, I don't think I actually have any gnome. I don't have one. I don't have one. So we have, we're looking for, so the Blackpool, we're going to look for melancholy. And the dot hats are melancholy, as is the crimson lily. Melancholy seeds sounds like a Smashing Pumpkins album. So let's plant this here. And then we need a lot of melancholy is what it looks like. Let's plant the dot hats. And we might be able to plant more dot hats, but let's go for, okay, the Fan Amanita. How big of a garden do we need? Ghost flower. Woo. Let's put the ghost flower here. Needs more mature plants. Okay. I feel like we can do... I want to get as much melancholy as we can. I want, like, full-on melancholy. A large secret garden. And then we have Euphoria. So the Phaedora, I don't think we've planted the Phaedora. And we definitely need to. And then we've got, let's see. The Pea Lily. I'm gonna just, oh, sweet. I'm gonna just plant everything that I have that's melancholy. By the way, there is also Spooky. And let's see what else we have. I wonder when we get to just think, oh, by the way, melancholy is a teardrop. Let's remember that for later. Okay, that is all that I have. So now we need to grow songs. We're going to grow a melancholy. We're going to play the melancholy song. Everyone, I'm going to turn up the volume for this. We need more melancholia plants, apparently. Oh. Ooh, they're making sounds. We need more plants of the melancholia variety. Let's do, she really did like the Blackpool lid, but we don't have a lot of those. So let's add some more dot hats. And maybe we do add our last Blackpool lily. She did like them. And I guess we can put in... We have a lot of dot hats. Let's go with a crimson lily again. Another one of those. We can put that here. Do we have enough? Are we... And let's just do one more palm. I think we could put more of those, what do you call them? The ones that hang out on the rocks. I feel like the pea lily, we can add another pea lily. I don't know what we can add here, though. So, let's grow. Ooh. Are you a Martian? Am I winning? Maybe. Look, I did it. Ooh, quartermass in the pit. Nice. I think we have just composed Melancholia. I think now we listen. Not all the plants are singing yet. I think I might need to play a bit more for them. There we go. Now let's listen. So the plants are at the lower left right now of the screen in front of us. They're playing the melody. It looks like that plant in the back left is currently playing the bass line, the accompaniment. And you can kind of tell what they're doing by what notes they're giving them. If they're giving them quarter notes, they're basically playing melody stuff. But like dyads and triads of half notes seem to be basically an accompaniment system. And I guess what's happening is that we pick the kind of plants we want, and by planting the right plants, each plant has an independent sort of idea of what it's going to do. And I think that we're basically mixing these sound worlds together in our garden. This is what I see is happening here. I just kind of want to tend them. Just see how they're doing. Before I harvest anything, this is a youngling. Mature. Most of our plants are mature, but not all of them, it looks like. These things can be harvested, but I don't want to before I talk to her, because it might be important, you know? I'm gonna chat with her. Can I chat with you? Dow says it's peaceful. Tangent, Melancholia, fantastic movie too. Yes, I think we can harvest, right? Let's harvest, because I think that might be important. Oh, this is nice. Oh. Yeah, this is very nice. So the P lily is prepared piano. Very nice. Let's review. The P lily here, that's prepared piano, which if you don't know what it is, I'll tell you in a second. This is clouds. This is the flute. This is memories. This is an organ. This is our flute. Harp. Harmonics. Interesting. Trumpet, which we're currently hearing. Another trumpet. This is rays. Yeah. That's, we're just gonna harvest a little bit. This is too young to harvest. I guess we can talk to her now. So, we fast-tracked to the villain in Regency Cthulhu last night when one of the players got a crit hit to stop a fight, and the villain, a trainer, recruited him to learn how to fight even better. Nice! Meanwhile, I thought a man was drowning in a bog and saved his corpse, which is probably 1,000 years old, but since it's a peat bog, looks fine. Though dead, I'm sure that will not be a problem. Not sure where we're going to go from there. there were singing plants in the first pilot of Star Trek. There were. There were. With Pike. Kai, we're gonna learn a secret. I'll be gentle. I know you can see what I've been doing, but I hope it was okay. I hope you're not... It's perfect. Oh! She's crying. I mean, like, it's awful too. But seeing the garden alive again. Oh! Oh! It's weird, but I kind of feel like it's exactly what I needed. How come I didn't know this is what I needed? Oh, Mew. Sometimes when you're in it, you can't see it, you know? Here, here. And I give her a Blackpool lily. These were my favorite. They used to fill the morning with the most incredible smell. My kids would... Oh. I didn't mean to upset you. Sounds like maybe she lost her kid. No. It's so good to feel something other than furious. Thank you. Oh. Thank you. Oh. And there are little bugs here, hanging out. Little bugs. I want to tell you something. So, Halloween, so good you got it. Normally I can't do it because I've got, you know, a stream on Fridays. But as it turns out, there will be no stream on Friday because 2 of the players for the Gamblers cannot make it. But that's also okay because I'm giving a talk at the University of Washington and they want me to go to dinner. And I know that it's quite a long distance, and I know that dinner is going to mean they want me to go to dinner with the grad students to give them advice and all that. And I know that's going to mean I'm not going to be able to come back in time for the stream anyway. So, you know, everyone should be watching Max on Halloween. Are you okay? Yes. I was going to be streaming, but then I'm not streaming, but it's okay because they moved. I was supposed to do the talk this Friday, but they moved it to next Friday because there was a scheduling conflict. So, yes. I don't know. Well, the melancholy is nice. I think my plants are good, right? I don't think... They're all mature. They're doing well. This is nice. Doesn't look like anything needs to be, you know, dealt with. We do have a... This one is young, though. I don't know if I should sing to it. Maybe I should. I'm going to sing to it. There we go. We had 2 last songs that hadn't been their best selves, and we now have them. Nice. Oh, giveaway, thank you. Yes. Yes. We're gonna do a, there is a stream tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. We have a stream tomorrow because I'm not giving the talk tomorrow. We have a stream tomorrow. Greg will not be there, but they're playing cat and mouse with pirates tomorrow. And I've been looking at the new version that's the not yet live version of the ship sheet. I'm very excited about it. I'm also grooving on this music right now. We're going to do a giveaway. Make sure you say something in the next 5 minutes, and you'll be entered. And I have 2 games that are going to expire in January, the codes. Crime Boss, Yokè City, and The Invincible. We're going to give away those in 5 minutes. Polygeek. We are. It's beautiful. So, you know what we're gonna do right now? While we're waiting for those 5 minutes to pass. I guess they just left these ruins when she moved out. I think she lost her kids in the comet. But here's what I'm thinking. As a test, I want to go back to that temple. And I want to see if the new symbol has lit up. If our theory might be, in some ways, accurate. I wonder how far of a reach the things that you plant have. You know? Okay, it's dark. It is raining. Look. Wait, look. Look. We are correct. Look at that. Look, there's the little symbol, right? And the hexagon for Pacific is lit up, and now the teardrop for melancholy is lit up. So, yes, okay. We have learned something, perhaps something important. I don't know if this will look any different. It doesn't seem to, but it's the same colors as on the clock tower. I feel like, oh, wait. A little purple teardrop. Yeah, I noticed. PB. Hi, PB, how are you? How are you? I wonder if I should replant that garden, that Pacific garden up top, because I harvested it and, like, salvaged it, but maybe I should replant it. I don't know. I cannot say. But I'm going to do a giveaway. I don't think... Okay. So, this is what we've learned. Wonder if Grandpa's up. What happened to Mew? Why is everyone so sad today? Did Grandpa just bring me here to be his gardener? Something is really up with Mew. Grandpa says growing stuff in the garden near the archive might help. I guess I need to work out what kind of plants grow best there. It's weird. This garden felt totally different to the one yesterday. Sad. Kind of empty. The plants that responded to the song Mew sang felt like the right ones to plant here. I wonder if that's a thing. Different gardens need different plants for different songs? Yes. When I finish finding the right composition for the garden, I should give Mew some Blackpool lily flowers. Still not 100% on what happened, but OMG, it sounds brutal. Hope the flower helped a tiny bit. I should tell Grandpa about the garden. Maybe Yokè knows more about the Mewy business? Yeah. We're gonna go into this archive and do a giveaway. But like this this thing was a long time ago, right? Like, I mean, this was it like 75 years ago? How long ago was this comet? Like, because there are some people who seem to have been here. How long ago was it? Now I'm just so. Mhm. Um, PB, I'm doing so much math right now for all for a meat circus, and PB is excited. I too am excited. But didn't Britney Spears have a song, Meat Circus? Maybe it was just Circus. We're looking for a winner for Crime Boss Rockay City. Hope World Build. Why is it that Nightbot understands that you should get a game about being a crime boss? Why is that? Hope. I'm gonna send you that code. Oops. Hold on. I don't want it there. Yeah, Pope's 100% got crime boss energy, but like old world, cool crime boss. That's what I think. And then this music is so chill. The Invincible. Let's see who the winner is. Max! Hey, Max. You are the winner of The Invincible. And I'm going to send it to you. Yes. You're welcome. It brings me great joy. This is what I'm saying. Here we go. Let me send it to you. Let me whisper it to you. This music is super chill. I have sent it. Send it both to both of you. And then let me make this note. So there's a song that when I was in high school, we had this radio station, KLOK, Yes No Radio, that I'll add it to the list for thanking when I'm playing a stream. Thank you. KLOK, Yes No Radio was great. The format was that there were these DJs that covered certain shifts, as you do. And each shift, which might have been 4 hours, I don't remember how many hours it was, the people who listened to it would nominate a song to go onto the playlist, and then everybody would vote if they liked the song or not. And so KLOK, Yes No Radio, which was on FM and then canceled, so then I listened to the AM version, and then that was canceled, along with everything else I liked right around the same time period. It was great. Anyhow, but it must have been like a first or second, like freshman or sophomore. But anyhow, so what would happen is that you would get this playlist that was like individualized to the people who listened to that hour, and you had some top 40 stuff, but then you also had some really random stuff too. Because sometimes you'd have oldies, sometimes you just have just the weirdest stuff because somebody was like, I want to recommend this one really super random song. And everyone's like, yeah, we like it. And then it would, be on the playlist. This clearly was not a good business model because the point of radio, after all, is to sell top 40 songs. And having a really weird eclectic list of things on that playlist clearly did not do what they wanted it to do in terms of advertising. And so they got canceled, which I was really sad about. But it was on KLOK that I first heard Behind the Waterfall by Lance and Spear, a new age electronica group. Not electronica like dance music, but like a new age, but also like electroacoustic team up from Narada, which was a new age record label. And so you're having like, hits of the day and then also like random new age stuff. And let me tell you, that song is so good. I love it so much. I still love it to this day. And I remember that there was a giveaway that like if you called in, like the caller, if the caller calls in, the 14th caller who calls in was going to win this thing. And I happened to be the one that won. And what I got was a Narada sampler. It was a cassette tape that was a sampler of different songs from the Narada record label. But in order to get it, I had to drive out to the radio station, which was in the middle of nowhere because it was not like in a city. And of course, I could not drive, so my dad drove me all the way down to the middle of like rando, not in a city, Northern California, to where KLOK was, and we like the big tower was there. It was like the actual radio station was like the little like a little building in the middle of nowhere with a huge tower, radio tower, antenna. Went in, knocked on the door. They confirmed it was me, and they gave me this cassette, which I still have in a box. Not here. It's in Massachusetts. Yeah, it was really good. You're a petty criminal at best. Psh, petty. There's nothing petty about you. Um, yeah. So I just wanted to share that song. It's really, really good. Um, and I think, hold on. I think it might actually be available on Spotify. Not that Spotify will actually help the artist at all, but I think you could actually hear it. If I will try to look for it and see if I can post it on on the in the Discord. Because you know I care. Also, I'm getting a little bit of a spinning beach ball. That worries me just a little bit. Do we save? I don't think we do. I think it's auto saving. What are you doing? Hey, game. Are you freaking out on me? Let's see. I'm going to see if the game is freaking out on me. Mm-hmm. It is freaking out a little bit. Hold on. Let's go here. So that I can do a force quit. And let's hope that we it has saved at some point. Force quit. Oh, mm-hmm. Yeah, it certainly did need a force quit, didn't it? That's fun. By the by, since we're here and we're chatting, I'm gonna just do a thing while we're chatting. I'm going to just verify the integrity of the game files, and while that is happening, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play for you, even though it's gonna cause things to be muted, a little bit of that song that I was telling you about, so you can know my randomness. Hold on, let me find it. I'm gonna find it for you because I one file failed to validate and will be reacquired. What does that mean? Uh, let's see. Let's hope that validation will work. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if I can find it for you because I think that you might want to hear what, like, very not cool me was. Here we go. No. Yeah. Okay. So this is it. I'm gonna play it for you. Let's put you at 5.6. Okay. This is we're going to be muted, but later. But this is Behind the Waterfall by Paul Spear and David Lance. And this is what like 14-year-old me was obsessed with when other people were listening to Metallica because they were cool. But wait, hold on. That's muted, so you can't hear it. Hold on. That will not help. Let's put this on. Oh, I know. We're going to put this at 9. Let's route this to 90. This is the way to go. All right. This is it while we're verifying our files. Here you go. Hold on. Oop. Restarting. I just want to get you past the first phrase. Right. And then, of course, they add more layering in so it escalates. But like that was the song. And I just want to point out that that is correct. Like 14, 15-year-old me was listening to new age, like a new age sampler cassette that I got in a radio giveaway, and also oldies, and also like folk music from the 60s, and just stuff that was, I just was not cool. It just was not cool. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, Max, it's really good, right? Like I just think it's, and then there's this moment when this flute comes in. I just think it's a great song. I really love it. And I loved it like way back then. And this game reminds me a little bit of that. I own one of those trucks driver song record albums. Oh, yeah. There's sometimes you could get the best cassettes from truck stops, like when you're driving across the country or whatever, and like you get one of those truck stops and they have those random cassettes, and sometimes the stuff there was just really good. Hmm. Let's continue, shall we? Oh, good, we are saved. Maybe the cool people were the uncool ones. You know, I think that is probably true. Uh, no, no, you're talking a record of trucker songs. Oh, that's cool. Uh, I think I might stay late today. Uh, all this rain, I don't want to make anyone wheel me home in it. Uh, like, there are cool people that like dorks and accept dorks, and they're really cool. This is true. The people who don't accept dorks and like dorks are probably not actually cool. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Convoy, Smoking the Bandit, some really weird ones. Surprise, 30 pounds of bananas. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Smoking the Bandit, you remember? You remember. Smoking the Bandit, Cannonball Run, all of those Burt Reynolds movies that were all, like, when CB culture was like a thing. Besides, I like the sound it makes on the roof. Such a solid, reassuring sound. Makes the world feel smaller, and the buildings feel like shelter. Hmm. How are you feeling, my girl? You know, this town is full of trauma. I'm going to ask about the garden. You saw the garden I grew today? But of course. It's a small town and everybody knows what everybody is doing at all times, and that garden used to favor river plants. So this rain will be good for it. Have you spoken to Nonno? I'm still trying to do more research into your questions. But the good news is I found a forgotten folio of some of Mani's old reflections. So perhaps tomorrow I will be able to offer more. Well, did Mew speak with you? A bit. 3 years ago, I lost a son and my grandchildren, and Mew lost a partner and her children. Oh, wow. Okay, so this loss is quite recent. I will stay quiet. I can barely say it out loud. The natural order of things. It shouldn't be. The first anniversary was an open wound. The second, somehow worse. But today, perhaps it is having someone new amongst us, or the life you brought back to that garden. It is still the deepest, blood-red melancholy, but life still springs. It is a gift. Life is a gift. Ooh. People are having some drama. Yeah. Let's see. So, and then there are gatekeepery cool people, and they're not cool. I agree with you. They're not cool. They're actually kind of mean. You know what I mean? Max says, Convoys, yep, got that one. Max says, yeah, one of the first Smoking the Bandit on DVD. All I could find was the complete movie collection. I have some interpretation about all of them past the first. Understandable. Rax says, but with only 3 years, shouldn't we know about this event? Well, the thing is, right, is that we, Kai, have never been to this island before. We've only just arrived, and we have never been here before. So everybody knows everything on this island except for me, because I'm a brand new newbie, and I don't know anything about it. Max says, so I want to compile a few poems for Dr. Cronwyn to read at the faculty party. What era, what style of poetry? What kind of poetry does Dr. Cronwyn like? I'm still working hard to collate these papers. I'm confident I will have more for you tomorrow. But you ought to be congratulated. Do you feel proud? I want to talk about the Mew. I guess it's cool to be able to help Mew feel a bit better. I don't know if better is right, but I'm really stuck on how, like, she was only a bit older than me when all that happened. Like, 5 years or whatever. I mean, obviously, there's not an age where you can handle it, but I can see 5 years from now. I have plans for 5 years. Well, I'm much more ancient than both of you. But I can assure you that pain is pain no matter how old you are. Maybe you develop tools to deal with it as you grow older. But for some pain, no tool is enough. Whatever your feelings, please make room for pride among them. What you did today was admirable. I want to keep talking to him. I think I may just listen to the music of the rain on the roof for a while. Well, let's into that conversation. Yeah, I see how this game is. Gold bits are so pretty. That's the harpsichord. And then I should ask Yokè sometime if I can watch these films. You know, the people in this place, on this island, have clearly been very traumatized, not only by a big meteor that came and destroyed everything and then turned everybody into mutants, however long ago that was, but also for whatever's been happening in this community. I actually think I need to go and replant that garden up top. You know? Maybe Yokè knows more about the Mew business. So Mew lost her kids and her partner. Who was Yokè's son? What kind of disaster even does that? A fire? I should tell Grandpa about the garden. Yeah, so I'm gonna go and replant my garden on the roof because I think that I salvaged it and I think I probably should have left it growing. It might be important to keep it. Well, there are people hanging out here, so I'll find out what that says. Can't believe it took you this long. I've been waiting here for hours. Bailing out stinking water. I can only... what is his voice? I can only apologize. What on earth was so important you had to leave a pregnant woman bailing manure water? Go on, tell me. Look, we don't know it was manure. It could be brown water of any variety, especially with the rain. The rain started after the flood, and I told you that. I apologize. I truly apologize for my tardiness. And now we're waiting for what? You couldn't even organize your workers. I'm having some trouble getting sense out of them today. I can only... Oh, here they come. What is going on? Something is going on. I don't think I like it. As if things weren't stinky enough. They tooted. I utterly apologize. Utterly. I try and get them to work, but they keep... Just fix the flood, please. And find out what caused it so it never happens again. Okay? Of course, of course. Well, that's something. I'm checking chat. If it was like a meteor strike, wouldn't we know that that happened even if we weren't physically... Oh yeah, the world knows about the mutants. They know that this island happened, that this meteor strike happened, devastated the whole thing, destroyed everything, and the people who survived all became mutants, and basically nobody goes to that island. That island is super isolated and nobody goes there. It's like, I think the mainland treats it like lepers because nobody else is mutated. Only they are mutated and green and strange looking, and so people just don't go there at all. PB, wow, a 5-year plan? Brag about it, why don't you? So, Max says, Cronwyn is the Dean of the School of Language, Literature, and the Arts, and it's said in the MU book, he's something of a black sheep. He teaches his share of composition classes, but offers several surveys of poetry as well. His poetry courses dwell heavily on Milton and Poe, primarily to satisfy his superiors, but often veer into deep surveys of other masters, Keats, Shelley, Coleridge, and Donne. His passionate readings of love and romantic poetry have been enthusiastically received by students. They raised a faculty eyebrow, though. After several years of appeals to Dean Eliot and countless student petitions, Cronwyn's poetry composition course was finally being offered for credit in 1928. Interesting. Well, definitely you should do Kubla Khan, right? In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure-dome decree where out the sacred river ran, through caverns measureless to man down to a sunless sea. So, we're twice 5, and they were girdled around some the ground. I cannot remember much past that. I need to get that back again. But definitely do Kubla Khan. Also, Cthulhu, a little sketchy. Love it. But also, depending on how wild he is, you could go with some of like the kind of jazz poetry of the early 20s. If you're 28, like, let me see. What year was that? Do we have any good Langston Hughes from 28? Like, so let's see. 1928, I feel like his stuff should have come out by then. Yeah, The Weary Blues. The Weary Blues is a super famous poem of his. It's from 1926. And that one's pretty famous. So if your professor also is interested in like the poetry of the Harlem Renaissance, that could also raise eyebrows. And that is definitely up. So where is it? I'm looking for this one poem. Hold on, because it's from the same year. Weary Blues. I'm looking for... Here we go. This poem, Langston Hughes, The Weary Blues from 26. Droning a drowsy syncopated tune, rocking back and forth to a mellow croon, I heard a Negro play down on Lenox Avenue the other night, by the pale, dull pallor of an old gaslight. He did a lazy sway, to the tune of those weary blues. With his ebony hands on each ivory key, he made that poor piano moan with melody. Oh, blues. Swaying to and fro on his rickety stool, he played that sad, raggy tune like a musical fool. Sweet blues. Coming from a black man's soul, oh, blues. In a deep song voice with a melancholy tone, I heard that Negro sing The old piano moan. Ain't got nobody in all this world, ain't got nobody but myself. Gonna quit my frowning and put my troubles on the shelf. Thump, thump, thump with his foot on the floor. He played a few chords and he sang some more. I got the weary blues and I can't be satisfied. Got the weary blues and I can't be satisfied. Ain't happy no more and I wish that I had died. And far into the night he crooned that tune. The stars went out and so did the moon. The singer stopped playing and went to bed, while the weary blues echoed through his head. He slept like a rock or a man that's dead. And there's some also good stuff from the same, like, space coming out of Cuba at the time. Some Cuban vanguardists has some very cool poetry as well. So there you go. Harlem Renaissance. Yeah. Let's see. Cronwyn is an NPC. This Living Hand Now Warming People by John Keats. That's a good one. Well, it's supposed to be a spooky poetry and prose being read at the party. Oh. Came place between Halloween. Okay. Okay, I've got it. Let me think about spooky poems. Okay, I will think about spooky poems. The Lady of Shalott. She drowns in that one, right? Some drowning. Spooky drowning, maybe? I bet, actually, depending on what you want, there's some World War I poetry, like post-World War I, like, soldiers' poetry of, like, the... Oh, there's one. It's in German. It's called, I think it's called Gasangriff. It's all about, like... It's a poem about experiencing mustard gas attacks. Not fun times. But that's creepy and spooky. So depending on where he's at, you know. You want to do shorter poems? I got you. Well, there's drama there. Also, I'm going to refix that garden. Because it could be... I think it can be made more vibrant, this garden. Because I harvested a bunch of it, and I want to bring it back. Oh, hey! I could talk to a dot! Okay, we need more Pacific plants. Let's get some Pacific plants going on. Because you know... I had salvaged some of them and I probably didn't need to. Probably what I need to do actually is, what's the word? Ooh, where could I put you? Here. What I probably need to do is tend them, is my guess here. But let's see what we can do. Green tree fern. Is there a place where this will fit? Yes. We are doing our job and trying to make our garden, our Pacific garden, as we have one of those. Because I think I was wrong. Hello, little Piccolino. We're going to do a better job of taking care of our gardens. Just so you know. And rose reed. I should be paying a bit more attention to what these musical sounds are, but that's fine. A table harp. We definitely should have some of that. And let's see what else we can get in here. Oh, yellow caps. And water nettles. I don't think we have room. I don't think they'll grow particularly well in any space we have left. You'd think. Nope. So then let's just do the yellow caps. And with that, I'm going to grow it. I want to, yeah. Okay, the Pacific is composed. I think this might be important. You know what I mean? So I'm going to just grow this a little bit more. One more time. And then I'm going to check the plants, because I don't think I've checked them, and that might actually be part of our job. Let's see. I'm gonna harvest some of these plants while we're here. Oh. Oh, we could plant things here, but this is growing old, which I think means we harvest it. Or I don't think we can. I think we salvage it, right? Because it's growing old. Which means we probably need to, like, replant a little bit. This is what I think. I think this is our job. I think this is what we're doing. Checking it to see how... if they're healthy, if they need to be replanted or salvaged. I wonder how different the sounds are going to be. Because I feel like Pacific and Melancholia are different, but not necessarily super different. We can't harvest that. How are you doing? You're doing well? Okay, maybe we can only harvest things once. So I think everything looks healthy and mature. There are some things we could probably plant that we haven't done. We still have some pots open, and I feel like we should probably put a couple more things in there. Just, right, as part of the thing. And it looks like there are things we cannot plant, and... I'm gonna just plant a second one of these. Because temple ferns, we've got that. The thing is, there are these things I've got space where I could plant things, but it doesn't look like I've got space. It doesn't look like I have it does not look like I have the seeds to place in that one rocky space right in front of us. So maybe I need some different seeds. We can do one last once over. Oh. I wonder who did the composition. Yeah, it does not look like we have the kind of seeds that can go in that front, but that's okay. It's all right. We survive it. So I think we can probably just leave that, but I think that means we might be able to talk to that dot. Tuck. Oh, you must like the rain. No. Makes sense. I have a lot of questions about the little dots. Like, if I talk to them right now, will they try to kill me again still? Or can I talk to them without it being bad? Hello? Because the last time I tried to talk to them, they kept trying to stab me with this spear. It reminds me of Rain World, where those creatures that are not supposed to be dangerous just, hello, keep stabbing me. Not that I have Rain World related trauma, because the things that are supposed to be friendly kept attacking me. It's fine. 555. Thank you, Rissa. Thank you. Can I? If I try to say hi to them, they probably will not let me, huh? Let's go talk to Grandpa. We're here anyway, and we have to. Even though, you know. Hey, Nono. Stream is gonna go. What time is it? We've probably got 20 minutes, so 15 after. Grandpa? Because we've got Critical Role tonight. And I need to get groceries. Grandpa? Grandpa! Oh! Sorry, my mind wandered off there. If I'm honest, I'm feeling sad that I never knew your mother at your age. She was such good friends with the dots. Made contact before anyone else did. Just seemed to naturally understand them. She would go into the tree crown here with a big basket of fruit and carefully hand out an equal-sized piece to each. Until I joked that equal wasn't equal to a big dot and a little one. And then from that moment on, she very seriously gave proportional-sized fruit pieces. A little worried about him, too. A 3-year-old. Can you imagine? You must think more like your mother, Kai. She was open and inventive, not always looking for answers on a silver plate. I'm gonna be angry about that. She was 3. That's what all 3-year-olds are like. I'm not sure I deserve that. Oops. Oops. Look, Kai's a bit frustrated that everybody's like, oh, there are all these secrets and we can't tell you, but you should do stuff, but we can't tell you. I just feel like she's also a little stressed because she's away from home. I know you are tired of hearing from me. I'm not. But I must ask. You feel it, I hope? The change in the air? I will stay quiet. The people. The feeling of the community as a whole. The garden you grew. Today felt different. It was darker. But so was everyone else. Am I frustrating you again? I'll be thoughtful. Everyone felt like that garden today. The garden you grew today felt different. You learned something. And you also gave something back. A fine day's work. Stick with it, my girl. I think, look, Kai really does care about her grandfather. I just think she's a little stressed out right now because, like, everybody knows things, but nobody's telling her. And she's like, what, 16? You know what I'm saying? I believe I should be going to sleep soon. I'm tired, but I have high hopes about my health tomorrow. Let us dare hope I may even have strength enough to venture out. And I can stop torturing you with my company. No, I'd like hanging out with you, Grandpa. It's just, you know, tell me things. Make sure you don't stay up too long, huh? I'm gonna step outside. because we have, 18 minutes. People should tell teenagers things that stop treating them like children. They'd probably be less brat if we did that. That's all I'm saying, right? Like, especially if you know that you're not being told things, if they're like telegraphing that they're not telling you things, that can be very frustrating, right? I mean, it's one thing if we're playing a spooky game and that's part of the fun, but like, I should tell Grandpa about the garden. I feel a bit bad, but I also don't see why he can't just be straight with me. See, that's her frustration. Might check Grandpa isn't annoyed at me. He was nice, but in a kind of, I don't know, guarded way. Ugh, what a day. Maybe Spike can cheer me up in the bar. Ooh. Kai feels guilty for snapping at her grandpa. But, like, she's a teenager, and her grandpa was being, frustrating. That's, I just feel like it's understandable. She is, after all, a teenager who's being tasked to doing a whole bunch of, like, therapy on adults that she doesn't even know. Is all I'm saying. There are people hanging out here. Whoop. There we go. Let's see what they're up to. Come on. Come on. Not today, Bopek. You're not getting me today. They're playing, Mario Brothers? Yes, yes! In your face! My face? My face? My face? Whew! I really needed that. My face? My face? My face? Good game, Bopek. Anyone else want to challenge the undisputed champion? What am I supposed to do with my face? My face? My face? Well, I would challenge her, but it does not look like I can. So I won't. Instead, I will chat with this crew here. Hey, I heard your boat is turning out good, huh? It's okay. Fine thing to have your own boat. I should know. Sweet Lullaby's been with me for years now. There's a lot of looking after her. But she's worth it, you know? It'll be great to have a bit of freedom. Plus, you're gonna say things like, my, she is yar. Yar? Sure. What does yar mean? It's just one of them things you say. Uh-huh. Easy to handle, quick to the helm, or the things a boat should be. Maybe it's from a movie? What I mean is, there's romance in a boat. That's what I mean. You've got to think about how you relate to her. Like, is she your refuge, your escape vessel, your home and hearth, your co-adventurer? Have you named her yet? No. Well, get on it. It's important. Names are important. It's late night. This has been a day. Ooh-wee. Aylin spilled more of a drink than drank it tonight, huh? Funny mood. Oh well, I'm nearly swept up. Well, okay. I guess, doesn't it feel like, it feels like I've... Oh, hey, people are talking, there we go. Because I felt like I was missing something. Just leave me. If you're gonna sit in the rain getting all wet, then so am I. I'm not cold. The baby's fine. I've been scooping up filthy water all day, and I can't shower. This is heaven. I think Tung has a crush on Aylin, but Aylin's in a relationship with the sailor guy. who wants to get away from this here place and feels like there's some complicated things go on in this town. And it also feels like, oh, I should check in on Mew. Seems like everyone's had a bad day. Yuck. Okay. So everybody's had a bad day. So you had a bad day. A meteor hit your town. All of your friends got burned up in a fire and you're feeling down. You're a mutated being. Your ecology's collapsing. And you've got dots with spears. And the world's relapsing. You had a bad day. I don't think that's how the song went, but, you know, I haven't thought about that song. It's been so long. Now it's in my head. Sorry. Yeah, the meteor hit this island, was a regular place until a meteor hit it, killed almost everybody, and then turned the people who survived into mutants. Like, there's a cat girl in this game, but you need to know there are no cat girls in the rest of the world. All the strange green figures and all that stuff, it is only on this island. And the people who do not live on this island do not come to this island because they don't want to turn into mutants, I guess. So, makes you think of Smallville. So it seems like, oh, yeah. So I'm thinking we need to find Mew, who I think is probably out this way. And, oh, nope, she's not there. I wonder where she is. We're going to go look for her, and then I think our stream will probably be over. Yeah. So what do you think? How do you feel about there being a GURPS 4th edition revised? It's really just a revised core book is what it is. They're just revising the basic book to make it more modern, which, you know, good on you. That's nice. That's nice. I approve of such things. I'm not sad about it. Artie, do you have the Smallville RPG? Pretty sure I don't want to wander the wilderness at night. What they said is they're modernizing the layout, the art. They're getting a sensitivity reader to go through and change some of the language. They're doing errata. They're making language clearer. They're going to add some stuff as options, but their main goal is to not change any page references. So if you have if there's an article from 15 years ago that references this rule in the basic set at this page, it will still be the same page in the revised version because they are really, really committed to compatibility. Like it is apparently the number one thing that is important to them in this situation. Is making sure that that none of the references are made obsolete. Like none of the, they said, you know, like there are all these like posts on the forums that refer to page numbers. There are articles referring to page numbers. There are supplements refer to page numbers in the basic set. And it is one of their main goals to not make any of that, not break any of that. So there's a bunch of stuff they cannot do because they really, 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 really want to make sure. Oh, hey. That was interesting. By the way, where are we going to find her? Where is she hanging out? Where's our cat friend? We have to find our cat friend. That's a new edition. Well, no, but it's not. See, this thing is, Max, it's not a new edition. It's a revision. So they aren't really changing many rules. It's more of a revision of formatting, accessibility. Yeah, it's a revision. It's not a new edition. I thought really? Rax, I didn't see her. I'll go look again. I was looking for her and I didn't see her. Is she down here? Yeah, so it's just a revision, right? They are adding like 27 new pages of stuff though. So there's going to be some new stuff, but they're going to make sure that new stuff is in, yeah, she's not here. We're supposed to find her, but she's not here. So where is she? Where is she? Where is she? What am I missing? The music started playing through your cell phone? Understandable. Okay, let's try. We've got some options. I don't think she's down there in that cave. I've never seen her there before. She's not here. There's that one area I didn't check. We're going to try that area and see if we can find her there. Yeah, she might. We have not tried here. Maybe she's hanging out here. No, it doesn't look like it. I do want to make sure she's okay. You know, before... I would like to just check in on her. I didn't go into the... I went into the archive building when I first got out of there. But, yeah, let's... So we have checked all of this area here to the east. Never east or to the west. We're going to do a good one walk around just to make sure. Because I wouldn't want to miss her. There seems to be more life, though, so that's interesting. So she's not here. Officially not here. We took the high road. The only other place is that she could be hanging out where my grandpa lives, which doesn't make any sense either. So I hope she's okay. Let's yeah, let's just double check all of our options, because it says we're supposed to check in on her and I don't see her anywhere, and this is making me a little nervous. Right? Like, where is she? She's not here. Maybe I should ask around about her. Check that place you've never seen her. Okay, I will do that. Just in case, because maybe she's there. You know, we don't know. She could be hanging out. Yeah. I don't think we checked, but this place is closed, so she's not going to be there. We'll check the place we've never seen her. We're here at the archive. We might as well just check the archive, then we'll come back around. But I imagine the archive is probably closed now, right? Because it's late at night. So, hey everybody, I just want to let you know that I'm having that feeling. You know that feeling in real life when you're trying to find somebody and you can't find them and it's kind of late? And you're like, where are you? I hope you're okay and not missing. The place where I've never seen her before is on our way back to our home. So I figured we might as well just try. Nope. All the places we can think of. I hope she's okay. I'm getting a little worried, actually. She does like to hang out in this area, the wilderness area, but we can't go any farther. So there was a light on the archive. It looked like you could go in there. I tried. I didn't get the eyeball, but I will walk over there again. I didn't get the eyeball, but let's see. All right, so here's the archive. And when I go up here, I do not get an eyeball, which means I cannot go in there. Hey. Is everything like we only have like... Okay, so we only have like 5 or 6 minutes before the stream is done so that we can get ready to go to Critical Role and I can, I don't know, order food. But, where... So this is the one place we haven't checked so far down here. Maybe she's down here. If not, there's only one more place we can check, which is like the little tree house where my Nono lives. And if she's not... Here's my jellyfish friend. The hour is late. You should be recharging. Well, yeah, but I'm looking for my cat friend. I'm a little concerned because I cannot find her anywhere. Maybe she's... Where is she? I know it's late, and I'm burning the midnight oil, but my cat friend had, like, a really traumatic day today, because it was her anniversary of, like, her partner or child's death. Children's, multiple, her litter of kids. I don't know if they have litters of kids. Okay, so she's not anywhere there at all. We can try up here. Maybe she's up here? Wait. What's that sound? I hear rock music. Oh! I found her place. Oh! Okay. I haven't listened to this record in years. Every year that goes by, I feel like this has to be it. The point where things get easier. Does it? Life is now, isn't it? If you knew a secret, like about how someone loved someone, but they'd never tell, not in a million years, maybe you should help them, right? Because you've got to live. Carpe, what's it? You've got to. It's not fair not to. I'm not sure. PB, this is what I'm saying. The entire island is trauma dumping on a 16-year-old who just arrived 2 days ago. Life is now. It's time to make something of it. Okay. I'm gonna tell you a story as we make our way out of here. I think I get why she likes the romance of these now. These cool paintings. Yeah, so I'm gonna... Oh, hey. Hang in there, kitty. Someone get a therapist on the island. They make a killing, right? And maybe the therapist should not be a child. You know? So. Yeah. We're gonna go into my grandpa's place. Oh. We can talk to him. Let's just see what he has to say. That's what I figured. My friends, we're going to bed. And then I'm going to tell you something, but I forgot what it was. It was trauma dumping. What is this? Seven gardens, mood is sung. Papu flowers for the fung. What is that? What is this? Why are we having David Lynch here in our moment? What's going on? Why is there a bug crawling on me? Is this a dream? What is happening? Ah! What? What is it? Seriously. There was a beetle on me. Is that all? It was almost as big as my head. Of course, I understand. But you're safe now. You know, I'm feeling very much recovered. Let's get out of this stale old room, huh? Let's go. This is where we're going to end our stream, by the way. Stop talking. We are ending it now. Ending it? Oh, man. It's a cool bug, but I do concede that it would be terrified to wake up on it crawling you. I think it would be too. I can't hit... oh, my goodness. Is that really you? Ailin, my dear. You're really beginning to show. I suppose I am. It suits you. I believe you've met my granddaughter, Kai. It looks like I cannot stop until this conversation ends. Oh, DMs. Ooh, nice. Okay. Where are you hanging out? My DMs may not be on the most accessible screen right now. Let's see. Where are you? Discord. Ah, there you go. I see them. DMs. Yes. Yes. But then I've got to get back to, you know, all that other business. Yes. Yes. But I have to get back here. Grandpa wants to freshen up. You'll have to forgive me. I know, I just need to get through this conversation because they won't let me get to they will not let me get to a menu. I'm a little overexcited. I'm gonna be mischievous. And a little stinky. Hey, now, my cherry mood is no reason to get cheeky. Well, you've come to the right place. I'll give you the full package. Even the foot rub? Everything. I don't want any of those exfoliating things. I have delicate skin. Of course. Whew. Sorry, the baby's kicking. Magical. The first few times it is. After that, it loses its magic a bit. It's been a while since I was able to see you. Also, I cannot get out of the conversation until, you know... Mori has been great. I see. Well, she interferes a bit, but she's a good midwife. No concerns? Just a little sickness? You and I should talk some more. Kai, am I right that you've been growing gardens? Why? Do you need something? I do. I'm going to use up the last of my Koroka oil on Nono. Could you grow me some more? What a wonderful idea. I do recall they grow particularly well in the garden by the lighthouse. Oh, it would be gorgeous to have a bit more life out there. You might as well grow the whole garden while you're at it. Okay, hold on. I have to write this down so I don't forget it, because we're not doing this until next week. Koroka oil. Koroka oil. Right. And then lighthouse. Lighthouse. Right, I just need some adult plants. I can do the rest. If you pop along to see Mori, she'll have some seeds. Mori has seeds. Mori has seeds. Because we're not doing this now, so I need to write it down so I don't forget. In the meantime, let's get Nono looking spick and span. Okay. It looks like we can now go to main menu. That's it, folks. So, we're on day 4. That's amazing. We gotta go, but let me say, thank you so much, everybody, for being amazing, for being here and hanging out with me while we played Mutazione. I can tell now that the game is really picking up. Like, we're in this moment where the game is picking up, and I don't know. I'm thinking we might finish this game before we leave Seattle. I mean, I can't say for certain, but I'm thinking probably. I like the ways in which they're using loops and layers to sort of create, and attaching them to specific plants and then placing them together. And I do wonder what it looks like if you make a chaotic garden where the sounds are not meant to go together. Like, what happens if you do that? What kind of garden, if you decides to mix and match? Do you have that space? Can you do that? What's that going to be like? I have questions about where we're going to go, but clearly we need to plant all 7 or 6. Wait, no. The bird creature said 7 moods, right? But there are only 6 colors, I thought. So there must be some kind of special end thing. Well, we're going to find out. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to find out. It's a jazz garden. Discordia. Promise you will immediately go order food. Yes. No, I will immediately order food right now. So thank you for reminding me, Krellin. Here's what I'm thinking. Thank you. This was really great. I need to go and have, while we're watching Critical Role, I'm going to have some videos go live. So let's see. Where you can find me next. You can find me tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for The Gamblers with a cat and mouse game. You can find me on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern for Heaven's Vault. You can find me Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern on my channel, Laugh Love Lindy's channel, Wandering DM's channel, and High Shelf Collective channel for the Reflect portion of Roleplay Reflect for our first cycle on The Expanse. And then on Tuesday, you can find me at 8 p.m. Eastern over at PB Plays Inside channel for part 2 of our 2-part Asher's Ridge excitement, which uses Scrabble and cards. And there's a fire, and I've been kidnapped. I've been captured. It's bad. I hope we can get out of this. Something bad's happened. We'll figure it out, I guess. And then of course back here on Thursday for more Mutazione. The Friday after that will be no stream. And I will be, if you're watching Critical Role, you can hang out in our Discord in, about a half hour when it goes live. I'll be there chatting with you all. And so we've got Discord. You can find us on Trooper SJP here on Twitch and also on YouTube and also on Blue Sky, Academic Foxhole on Patreon and Fourth Wall. And those are the places to find me. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for having thoughts, pondering GURPS 4th edition revised and thinking about stuff and backwards compatibility and all of that. And I will catch you all in about 30 minutes, everybody. And so until later, I will catch you all on the flip side. Bye, everybody.